Welcome to Episode 5 of the Mirandus Farmer's Almanac. I am your host, Xana, and co-hosting is Mekro. Also with us today are some of the founders of the Mirandus Farmers Guild, as we explore the unknowns of the developing game, Mirandus. What place do guilds have in the game on an economic scale, or if they are even relevant? Join us on how a guild and its individuals try to find its place in this new way of gaming that is play to earn on the blockchain, as we try to uncover some of the models and roadblocks we may face. Okay, let's listen in.
My exciting thing was I wanted to be a digital landlord. So my idea was, hey, I want to buy one of these larger things and, rent it out and we'll see what happens. So at the time I bought a ranching hamlet, and then since then I've bought a lot more other stuff too, but still a lot of it's just kind of see how things play out. But yeah, we'll see. I think a lot of those questions about, what exactly is involved in running all this stuff is a good question. The other big question is like, okay, so realistically, in the game, can you run, 4 ranching hamlets, 3 taverns, 5 weapon shops and whatnot all at the same time?
Yeah, I don't think that's a real scenario. I don't know. It depends on that person's time, right? And
well, it also depends on what exactly is involved. I mean, are you having to do everything yourself, or is there some kind of NPC aspect to it?
well, it'd be hiring out jobs on smart contracts. It's got to be something like that, right?
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, I think because I don't imagine yourself like playing just to plant seeds and cropping and this kind of things for 8 hours just to get some flour or something. So
I think Wolf and
I think there will be some.
He wanted to run like all his own buildings and his shops and stuff, but he was looking to just hire out a workforce to do it all.
When did you guys join? I'm curious because I don't.
You mean like jumped in this game?
Yes, or in Gala Games in general.
I think it was late December or January for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
me too.
For me, it was around late November, sometime around Thanksgiving time, I think. And then I've really dove in January when I started buying nodes and stuff.
Yeah.
And also that's when I launched the whole Gala node guide thing, because I was originally that video was the first video that was just the setup video was supposed to be a one-off, but it took off so much that I created a whole channel out of it.
Oh, you did good.
Yeah, very nice. All right, well, I hit the record button just for everybody that doesn't make it here can listen in. The whole thing I wanted to do with this was just, get a feeling for this guild and what this guild's going to be about and what we're going to do, and none of it could come true just because there's no game yet and shit can change with the drop of a Gala announcement. So I think it's important that like all of us have our own personal goals, and that this guild should be able to fulfill those personal goals in some sort of way. And I'm always thinking about this game and always thinking of ways maybe this guild could work. So, and this is speculation on my part. It could not work at all the way that I'm speculating this. But I think it'd be cool if this guild could work as a community within the Mirandus community. And what I mean by that is, so a group of farms would supply in guild to a larger deed, and onward, like a supply chain, a logistics, if that makes sense. And
yeah, sure.
It'd be like filling each deed as, I don't know, it's like everybody's deeds put together as a giant talent tree, if that makes sense. So I know we got like what's unique about us is there's no leader, right? I mean, Cratius gave the guild to like 20 people, and we all are like one vote with the Constitution that we've all put together. And shout out to you, Mr. Nobody, for
Thanks,
put
Guy. I
put.
appreciate.
Yeah, dude, we appreciate it. I mean, that's we all threw in our 2 cents, and you bundled up and put it all together, and that's still all put together, but I just want, put out this for members and founders and kind of get a sense of where we would like to go and how to build this community. And I thought that would be like logistics would be nice. So it'd be like deed owners, like the guild would give value to deed owners, and then deed owners would give value to the building owners, if that makes sense. And so as deed owners, we would supply all these shopkeepers that we have in guild, right, with spots within our deed only from guild. I don't know if, I mean, that's would have to be how it works through a guild, right? You'd have to like pull from in guild.
Yeah, I think it's still really up in the air how all that's going to work. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
like one announcement that could
I mean,
kill it all.
theoretically, I'm behind that, but who knows?
Yeah, one announcement could kill it all, man. It could be like
Yeah.
adventures do it all. So here comes a guy, he's got his wagon built, he comes to like one of our farming hamlets, loads up on a bunch of food, buys a bunch of food, right, and takes it to the Citadel, to his shop, and sells it there. That was just like, what do you do with that? I mean, the community could build itself without guilds. I mean, guilds could be useless. I mean, I could see deeds having their own discords, but as for guilds,
It could, but
I don't know.
I mean, we are also very early in the game. I mean, not in the game because it's not released, but
Yeah, right.
it's so early that we are like probably one of the first, if not the first guild that was created before all the other guilds. I'm not sure about this, but this is kind of very interesting for us to not take the lead because this is not a competition, but to gather many people in the community very early too. So probably we will have also some great deeds and building honors. And then, yeah, it will also depend on the goals and how with what directions we give to the guild and how we can build a strong community involvement. So
Yeah, like it's an experiment, right? It's just an experiment to see how, a guild without a game and how this game's going to work and if a guild even works in this game. I don't know, what's the purpose of a guild, and does smart contracts take away, is the guild a middleman? Do the smart contracts kill the middleman?
yeah, this is kind of new, so.
Right. So, I don't know. I just want to do that. We should do this more often. We should have voice channel in main too, just so everybody can get to know each other and try to build and try to make a roadmap for ourselves and just try to be flexible with the way it goes. But I think it'd be great to have where we can create a network within our guild of the deeds, right? And be able to fill our deeds pulling from out of the guild with all the shop owners and all that. But our guild can only be as big as how many deeds we have. I mean, if we have like all these shop owners in here, the goal is to get everybody, some sort of plot. I mean, there's guys that got like probably 10 buildings, and there's guys that got like maybe 2 buildings, but I'd like to have a chance for everybody to get at least a place, to put on a deed. But, what's to keep anybody from going out of line? What's the point of having the guild? So I just like to discover that on the way. Can we add value where this guild's useful and there's like a loyalty to the guild where it's like, okay, all my deed stuff. I got 3 deeds, so I got farming village and 2 farming hamlets. So ideally, I'm just going to pull from the guild. I want all my spots to be filled from the guild. I don't want to pull out anything outside the guild. So, and maybe when we build this, you would start from like the largest deed and build downwards. I don't know if like say we got people in this guild that maybe a majestic or even the vaults. I ain't gonna say who, but say somebody owns a vault, so we might have to align with a king. So we might have to let that person that owns the majestics or the vaults pick the king and build downwards from there in our logistics and our networking. So if we used to go that way, so many ideas, but I hate to like say them because like at the drop of an announcement, man, that could be gone. I just want some sort of consensus.
But I think we have I know we have like some roles already in the guild, and I've checked this recently to see what kind of community members we had, and I think also as more the game will come to launch, we will also have more involvement from some members, and we will probably have a bit more feedback. And once we also have this constitution and other things wrapped up, we will probably also have more time to try to do something with the, like you said, with the members, like having a chat, or even I'm sure there are some people that have very that are talented or that have skills in particular field. So I also think that we can get them more involved as the game is being close to the launch date. For now, for people, it's pretty far, so there's part of speculation with the buildings that you try to catch them all, and when it will make a bit more sense, maybe you will, like, to be honest, like for me, when I initially started, I missed all the deeds because I was so focused with the nodes that I didn't even pay attention to the store. Then when I started to pay attention to real to the store, the deeds were almost gone. So I bought a large armor shop that I sold, and I still have like a large table that I could grab. But I wasn't clear if I would go with farming or other thing. Well, breeding horses is kind of, I don't know if it's like a farming activity related.
Branching, I would assume. I assume they got some farming on their property.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
see.
yeah, so
Go ahead.
no, my point was just that first I was speculating a lot with the buildings, and now like the stable, I might just keep it and use it in game because I really like the way that this is turning. So
Yeah, I know once game launches, we got some guys in here that could maybe run this pretty good. I know like Wolfenite and I think GB Audi. I think they both ran guilds, so I don't know if they'd be good with talent trees and if we's like treating buildings as talent trees on deeds and networking. I don't know if anybody would be good with what is it? Like spreadsheets and putting all this stuff into spreadsheets. I mean, you would need like a deed count, and then you need how many plots you got for all the guys in here with deeds. Are they committed? Then you need all your buildings. I think we should probably break down eventually, like in guild shopkeepers, and
yeah,
they ideally they probably got like there's one guy he's joined. He's got a large barn and a large tavern. I'm like, so you might have to pick a primary. Like, what's your primary focus on this game? Which one do you want to enlist you under that? And maybe in notes we can put the rest of what you have. So
What
The
up?
thing is that we don't
Hello,
have
bro.
much information.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it we're just guessing.
Yeah, that's all. That's all you can do, right? It's all speculation. But you
I
should
think
get.
no, I was just thinking that I wish they would give a bit more information on buildings before they release them in the store, because like the butchery thing, uh, it was like kind of a FOMO thing,
Absolutely.
which didn't happen when the project was early. I remember like a lot of buildings were still available in the store, and now it feels like every single building that they are going to release, it will be like a FOMO thing in the Discord,
Dude,
and
it will.
Yeah.
just but in the end we don't even know. I mean, we all know what the butchery is in real life, but
You
what
know it. You
will
know its main function.
what use will be in the game compared to, I don't know, a bakery, for example, like which one is more valuable. And I wish that when I think they did initially that on some YouTube videos very early, like they were explaining what the building is about. And yeah, just like explain a bit more about why you created the building, what use. It's not saying exactly what it will do in the game, because I know Michael McCarthy just wants things to be open, but still you can share your thoughts and why you initially decided to create this kind of building, and how you see it in the game. So
Dude, it could always change at any point. Even after alpha, when game launches, things are going to change. I mean, it's a huge. It's like the Ultima. Somebody like posted a video about Ultima, like the problems they had when they launched the game because they didn't have real testing for like players coming in and like killing everything. Like no animals could spawn because the players would immediately kill it because they had the same ecosystem that McCarthy was doing, and I'm sure he's aware of that, but. Yeah, when alpha hits, man, things can change insanely, but it's their job to make
yeah,
it work. So,
that's true. But I don't know if it's because we're still very, very early before the alpha, and they don't want to really share information. Uh, so it could be just that. But I think that um, aside from the AMAs, which are basically questions about what they do or what they made, um, maybe they could try to brainstorm a bit more with us. I
yeah,
don't know what you think about
uh,
this.
that's why I throw about this podcast. It's just trying to catch up with the Gala Roundtable, man. What are they thinking? Trying to get to where they're at. How can it comply to this guild? Like, I think one of the big questions is the map. Like, are we able to,
Yeah,
if we form a networking and a logistics between all our deeds and then our building owners, if that works out well, then we got to worry about the map. Like, so he's talked about you're not going to be able to see what's on the map, right? You have to have like maybe what's the mapping skill called, anyways.
Cartography.
Yeah, like like a cartography skill, like to be able to see what's on the map or have a printed map. I mean, when we land on the map, do it. I imagine it's like town stars, right? It'd be something where we like pick out a spot and I know that there's like a distance with deeds that you can't be too close, so you can't like form your own city made of deeds, right? Because I thought about that one, and he shut that down, which is probably smart. But can you do that with networking, where we can drop down and kind of control a region? Because I can see PvP coming in this game because obviously you're going to have economic PvP, right? So what's to
oh yeah,
stop us as a big group? All right, well, we don't want to crush all our resources. So let's go way over here and start a caravan and just go over here and crush this towns people or whatever all their resources and bring it back. So I could see like, king powers being like, okay, well, these guys are coming over here. They're allegiant to this king here and they fire up some boundary. If we cross over this boundary, we're flagged for PvP. Necessarily anybody in that region wouldn't be flagged, so we couldn't kill them, but they have the option to kill us. I don't know. There's so many wormholes you can go down, but I just want to try to just discover what we can do with this guild. What do you got, Jeff? What do you want to do? What do you want to do personally? You got any personal plans in this game, or you just doing it live?
Doing it live. Yeah, you're putting me on the spot there, homie.
Well, that's all you can say in some cases. It's like, I don't know what to expect. I'm just going to do it live, man.
No, that's dope. No, for sure. Like personally, I think I kind of mirror what Mr. Nobody said. When I started kind of feeling that FOMO of like, hey, we're just releasing stuff. We're not really going to give you much more information on what it is that you did buy. But we're going to put out a new building that maybe has a slot in the whole process of feeding people because, it's logic, taverns, you need to feed people. So now let's create the whole food processing plant. And back of that, it could go on for years of just releasing different food processing buildings. I sold my farm. This isn't FUD, by the way. This is just real facts. I sold my farming hamlet because like right now I want to very much be involved. But like for me, like I need more information to keep like dishing money out at a project. As a player, what I intend to now do, since I'm no longer going to be investing in a farming hamlet for the moment, would be to explore an adventure. Since they're catering to that player experience so much that I'll be able to choose in between a bread or a meat, I really feel like I'll have like, total ownership of the game as the explorer and not really as the deed investor.
Yeah, that's
no, sure.
Sounds super responsible. What are you being so responsible for?
But for now, let's be honest. For now, when we first like when we bought the deeds and the buildings, it was kind of a bet, but also a financial speculation at first.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the game is so far that you want to keep them, but you want also to have like an option, like a reasonable option, if things fail, what happens. So it's always a balance between, okay, I put some money, but I don't put all my money, and I get some money back in case something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So what you said about it's not FUD, it's totally understandable, and I think a good percentage of people that are involved are doing this. If you were early enough to do this, then great for you.
I mean, I think that's true too. If you were early enough, I mean, a lot of the folks just coming in now, are okay with the information that's presented to them, and they invest knowing that, it's a different profile of investor who maybe has a little bit more of a high risk tolerance. My profile of investment at the point that I came in, I mean, it was all FOMO. I saw the lands going so quickly, and I bought into that, and then basically now I'm seeing like, holy shit, there's going to be a whole world to explore. Am I going to be tied down to this deed? I think I'd rather, as I do with communities, just hype, man, have fun, go in all the different cities and maybe be the guy in the tavern that gets the party going. Like, I didn't really understand how deep the environment that they're looking to make will go. And now that I'm seeing how much, they're putting emphasis on even the slightest of details when it comes to the food processing, it really gets me thinking like, maybe there's more money for me somewhere else in this game.
Absolutely, man. And you know what? I could see the FOMO going. These buildings, we was talking about butchery earlier before you jumped in here and how fast it went. I could see these buildings, every building they announce, man, is going to go this fast because you're unloading more people, right? There's more and more people learning about this game, and this stuff's just going to disappear.
Were you guys around for the potion shops?
No, but I heard, man.
Okay, so potion shops, it was interesting because before it's like they would release buildings and it'd be just like, okay, cool, whatever. But potion shops, they totally hyped them. They were like, oh yeah, potion shops are going to be super critical. They wouldn't say anything other than that, right? So the potion shops was the first one that really went like sold out like instantly.
You think it's because they mentioned critical?
Well, like I said, it was the first one they really hyped, and now it's like they don't even. It seems like they don't even need to hype it because everything's sold out, and
Yeah,
people
they
are.
got such an audience now, man. I mean, there's
Look at
nothing cheap
Homestead
anymore.
too,
How about
man.
that?
I mean,
Yeah.
I remember at first the Homestead they were like 3 times the price they were on the store, and like now it's like minimum 1 Ethereum. It's crazy, you know. Look at the initial price. It's I don't know
It,
is it
for
10
me,
times the price now?
if I can counter argument that, it's not crazy if there's value.
Of
So
course.
if I can compare apples to apples, well, if it's an apple really, did you guys hear about Illivium that came out?
No.
Negative.
Okay, so
No.
Illuvium is basically the same kind of thing as Gala, where they have their own currency that's going to be like used into their game environment. You could do a quick Google. They blew the f up like majorly. Something like 15,000 ETH in one day. Their coin is now sitting at $86 or something like that. So when we're talking about something that's crazy, that's nuts. They're backing the investment into their currency with NFTs that can only be obtained if you've hit a certain threshold of investment. So basically, if you put in 5 ETH, then you get in the balancer pool, you get like 5 tokens or 5 tickets, and then you could redeem those tickets into their NFT store for an NFT. Those NFTs are selling for the same value as the initial investment in the game. So basically what's happening right now is you put in 5 ETH into the currency, you're taking your ticket, you're getting a 5 ETH NFT that you're then reselling, and then you still have, the token that you originally invested in. And then they're going to be making a game with that, and then you're going to be able to stake those NFTs into the Illivium pool to receive either more NFTs or tokens or something like that. I myself am not invested because I thought it was a rug pull because it just sounded like way too crazy good. But from the what I'm seeing right now, that it's super successful. So
Yeah.
like bringing that up to say like, Gala doesn't even have that type of volume. So it's not crazy,
Well,
in that way.
is that volume based just on FOMO of NFTs? Because NFT, if you put NFT in anything, it's a hot market, right?
Yeah.
So, but
I
here you got
I
a
think
company coming out and they're just hyping these NFTs. So nobody cares about the game, right? Unless, you might have some people in there, but most people are just trying to flip. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Straight up.
So it's just, how's their games looking? Have they got any development done or plans? Are
Have
they
a
talking
quick
to?
look. Do a screen
What's it
share in
called?
between us.
Send me the link. What's it called?
Okay, well, sure, I'll do that. Or I can share.
No, but I think just to complement that time will tell us if it's crazy. Maybe it's not crazy because the game will be a huge success and this will be
Yeah.
like pennies in a year. But I think a lot of FOMO that we're currently having is also because we're seeing a lot of people joining the ecosystem. And like when I initially purchased my node, I made like
Oh
some
yeah.
math and said, okay, I will earn this Gala in about a month and this Gala, and it went so fast that I think in my math I was supposed to earn like 5K Galas or 4K Galas, and we're now like at 900. So we didn't expect much. I personally didn't expect much growth that early, and since there are a lot of people involved and more joining, of course we'll see also a natural FOMO thing because newcomers will want to get also building and deeds, and people that were here early they want also to add more to their stock. So
I think one of the biggest questions for me, and this won't be answered until the game comes out, is how is the economy going to work in order to justify these huge prices for deeds and buildings? I mean, I can just imagine a scenario where it's like, oh, well, I paid, thousands and thousands of dollars for my bakery. So therefore, I'm going to sell each loaf of bread for literally $100.
Yeah.
Because that's what
Yeah.
I need to do to recoup my investment. And what happens to the quote unquote free player who suddenly is like, what do you mean bread's $100?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't see that. You'd have to take that over like a long period of time. I think the
I would
prices
be
were
more
jacked
afraid
up.
of.
Go ahead.
No, for this thing, I would be more afraid like of monopolies, or like some price, not discussion. How do you say that? Like
Collusion.
people that agree on a specific market price.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
This is one purpose I want to have on this guild. I don't want to be tethered to that, right? I don't want to be tethered to monarchs controlling us, or this is why I want this guild to be like a powerhouse, right? I have our own networking where it's like, all right, we can put Cratius on one of the councils of the king that we pick, right? He'll be on that king's council because we demand it. Because I don't know, we got guys in this guild that'll have a majestic or a vault, right? And we would align ourselves with that king. I don't know. Maybe I'd like us to get our own deed, man, because the more stuff we get, the more that it binds us, right? And we like work together. Maybe we should buy a majestic.
I think Gala still has like a balanced role, even if the game will kind of self-regulate itself. They still have to make sure players won't screw up the game, because they will always have, in real life, people who just come to the game because it's successful and they just want to make money and they don't care about playing or anything else.
And that is why you need PvP.
It's
That way, when somebody does this, okay, we don't like this, we're going to war, right? If that makes sense, right? You got somebody like dictating prices and.
But then there's sometimes a loser, and that loser could be someone who has a town of the Viscount or something or whatever, village of the farmer.
Like, what's
And
he
then
lose?
like in PvP wise, so you got this person who's a bad MMORPG player, horrible human being, so no one wants to be his friend, but put a lot of money in the game. They want to make sure that this person doesn't want to quit. Like, that's the sentiment that I'm getting.
Oh, but if you own that, I mean, PvP ain't going to destroy your deeds. It's not going to destroy your buildings. It's just, I'll just, for anybody that aligns with you, they come outside the gates, we'll whack them. Or I don't know.
So then
Maybe
you know what I
you
mean?
can't do it that way. I don't know. I'm just saying it'll be an economic PvP if there's unhappy commerce people, right?
Well, you know what? I'm just thinking about also the famous ROI, sorry, that we can't really discuss. But we usually refer to this about nodes. But what about buildings and deeds? Is there some kind of return on investment that is expected? Probably. I mean, you won't pay a building and not make anything out of it in game. So how do you guys see this, especially when they recently increased the price
I
of
feel like
buildings? So
with deed owners are going to make sure their building owners are getting a profit. Because why else have a building there, right? Well, I'm not going to have my building on there if I'm making a profit. What's the point of it unless I like losing in-game currency or?
Yeah, but that's going to be determined on what they decide the foundation for the economy is.
Well, the economy should build itself, right? I mean, ideally, price discovery will happen on its own. So if like I was talking earlier about, networking this guild and doing logistics and all that, well, that can all be destroyed with smart contracts if an adventurer just, has a wagon that he had built in a wood shop or whatever and just rolls into your town and goes to some of your vendors and buys up some food and then takes it to the Citadel and sells it there because he comes to your town because he can get it cheaper than anywhere
arbitrage.
else. Yeah, it's just arbitrage. Arbitrage is going to cause price discovery. So you'll have guys like wheeling all the way out to stock up and then wheeling back to their Citadel, to their shop to sell the food because your town has it the cheapest. Well, then everybody will recognize that. Well, we better lower our price because nobody's buying our shit. So you're going to have price discovery easily.
Did they mention how many players they expect to play Mirandus? Like millions, I suppose?
I've heard the term millions and tens of millions, and then I heard 100,000. I don't know where this
Yeah, same, bro. I don't remember when that was, and I think I was with you, and we both kind of went like, "What?"
Yeah, I thought this was millions. Well, now it's 100,000. I'm like, well, maybe they just don't know, right? I'm more curious of like, I'm used to connecting to game islands.
I would be curious to know what kind of other games in the let's say the classic industry, like games like Rust I mentioned, how many players they have, or what is the maximum number of players in this kind of games in already known.
Well, it's like World of Warcraft is, what is that, 10 million, but it's across different servers.
Multiple servers.
Right. So I don't know how you're going to do this with, I assume the nodes, but I don't know what a node can handle for people connecting to game clients.
My main concern about this also is if you take WoW, how many are less than 18? And if you play blockchain, do you have to be like above 18? Because it's money behind I know you can play for free, and I know they plan to have like the blockchain that is transparent or hidden, but that will be for me the main challenge for a game not to be a niche market is how do you take classic players that are not into blockchain, that they are not even interested in blockchain. They could like the idea of owning items, but then the technical aspect and all the things that could be a bit difficult for them. How do you take those people and make them into the blockchain gaming industry?
Well,
There has to be a financial. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that they've said numerous times is that they want to try to kind of make the blockchain invisible, so to speak, like so that quote unquote normal players wouldn't have to deal with blockchain stuff anymore. That for them it would be, it wouldn't show up. I quite honestly I don't know how they can pull, especially with the self-custody wallets, but
yeah,
I mean that's the
maybe you're just issued the wallet, man. You never know about it, so they just jump in the game. They're issued the wallet, right? And when they get interested into it at some point, they'd be like, okay, what's this wallet thing about? And they can learn how to connect their wallet to different things. Other than that, it's just like saves to their game platform. Is that how it's working already? I mean, when you make a new account, do you already have like a set wallet unless you want to connect your own?
Do you mean now?
Yeah. Just if I signed up for a new account today, I'm like, what's Mirandus or what's Townstar? Well, let's sign up for this. Does it assign me a wallet?
You can play the games, but they still ask you like to confirm and you still have to make some wallet steps. It's secondary, but still.
Listen, this will be our jobs though too, right? They've said this too. So once this game comes out, we gotta tweet and pump everybody. Hey, look at this game! Everybody, come play this game.
Hey guys, I gotta drop off, but
yeah, thanks for stopping in, man.
All right,
glad to have you.
You too. Bye.
Yeah, what are we at? What am I at on time here? 38 minutes, not bad. I probably ended here, man, but for everybody out there listening, we want to know what you want to do in this game, what kind of plans you have, and how can this guild apply it. And we just want to carry on the conversation, trying to build a roadmap if this guild's relevant, how this guild can help you, how we can make this guild happen, how it can be awesome as shit. I don't know. We'll do it live, right?